Rogue Galaxy is one of those games I wish I had discovered 15 plus years ago. After having missed out on such a hidden gem as this, it really piqued my curiosity as to which great games I haven't been able to play over the years when they originally came out. Maybe I didn't own the console or a PC at the time, but I'm really surprised I missed out on this one, seeing as Dark Cloud 2 was one of, if not my favorite PS2 game of all time. The game that I have been the single most obsessed with recently has to be Outward. With stunning visuals and intense atmospheric music, Outward is a real throwback to the days of games like Morrowind. This game just hits really hard sometimes. Outward takes your typical survival crafting RPG and sprinkles a bit of Souls-like action combat in the mix. The soundtrack in this game is an absolute 10 out of 10 banger, with each track making it exhilarating to explore each area. There are hidden nooks and crannies all over the place, and secrets within secrets. You're not one of those superhero fantasy characters with an infinite black hole in their pocket. Your name is Jim, and all you've got is a backpack, so you really need to plan each expedition carefully. The music makes the whole thing seem like an epic adventure. Eventually, once you walk over this hill, you'll see this beautiful purple spiral mountain. Damn, this music's really picking up. Oh, look at that, the flowing purple grass. Stamina doesn't work anything like in Souls-likes in this game. It takes a while to regenerate, so if you're winded, you really do have to take a breather. Now that's just the first area. Some of the other ones get incredibly intense and more epic than you can imagine, especially combined with some of the scenery. Sometimes the music just hits so hard you've gotta run. This game really does give me flashbacks to the days of Morrowind. The world may not look dense with content, but believe me, there is a lot there and a lot of hidden secrets. Like when you finally figure out how to get inside this arc thing. If you hate buff stacking in Elden Ring, believe me, Outward is something else entirely. Sometimes you've got to drink 3 potions, eat 4 meals, and cast 5 spells just to fight a normal enemy. The combat is simple on its face, but has a hidden depth to it. Basically, you just have light and heavy attacks. Depending on when you do each one, you'll do a different combo, such as light, heavy, or just heavy, which is a zone attack. The heavies are not just attacks, but also usually double as an evasive attack. Something Outward does really well is its mage combat. As you can see in this fight, I'm using rune spells, which I can put together in different combinations to make different spells happen. Other mage types focus on debuffs or placing sigils on the ground, similar to Terra Magica in Elden Ring. The way the stagger works is you basically have infinite poise until you get to 50%, then each hit will stagger you. Once you get to 0, you'll fall on the ground. This game's also got a great ragdoll system. It reminds me a lot of the Demon's Souls remake. Pretty realistic, but also pretty comical at times. In Outward though, sometimes you're the one getting ragdolled around. This game is marketed as a Souls-like, but I would only just consider it one. It excels much better at the survival crafting and the inventory management aspects. For example, here's a clip of me in the volcano area where it's hot. As soon as I walk into the shadows, my body temperature goes down. And the reverse when I walk in the sun. It's things like these and small details that really get you to appreciate the systems here. Like how I learned not to cook near an open fire in the middle of the desert while having a fever. The next game I want to talk about is Tunic. This game I swept under the rug as a cheap Link to the Past clone, but man was I wrong. The game pulls you in with a simple premise, but doesn't explain a single thing. And on top of that, nearly everything is in this strange language. So you grab the stick, break some pots, and you're off to the races. You eventually encounter a locked door. Kill some slimes, test out the combat a little. Just a 3-hit combo with a roll dodge. Touch your first checkpoint and get this nice visual. On that note, let's talk about the visuals a little bit without spoiling too much. Not only does this scene look great, but then you're teleported here to wherever this is and you're wondering what's going on. Okay, so ring 2 bells to open a door. Now what does this lead to? Who is that? Am I here to rescue her? What's going on here? Oh, she's trying to escape. Okay, what is that? You eventually stumble upon the key to that locked door you encountered earlier, and find the first piece of the instruction manual. This is my favorite part about the game. How the game uses the instruction manual to drip feed information to the player about how the game actually operates. And some little secrets sprinkled here and there for those who are observant. Do not underestimate this game though. Although it may look simple and basic, it's far from it. This game legitimately has some of the most complex puzzles I've ever solved in a game. Despite the combat being simple, there are many memorable encounters, and each boss is unique with its own twist. Visually stunning, as well as dynamic fights that really do challenge the player. Of all the retro-styled games coming out recently, Cuphead is by far my favorite. With incredibly tight controls and amazing animations, Cuphead really sets itself apart from a lot of the old-school retro-styled games nowadays. It has most definitely made me look for games that scratch that itch, so here's a handful of them that I've discovered. The first one that's pretty well known is Blasphemous. If you like Metroidvanias and the dark, mysterious storytelling in Souls games, usually very grand in scale, but sort of obscure and definitely very esoteric in nature.
Mourning and every pain of the soul of all kind were visibly and tangibly manifested everywhere and in all of us. Sometimes in the form of blessing and grace, sometime in the form of punishment and corruption. That divine will, equally pious and cruel, which we could not and will never be able to unravel, was called the miracle.
You're told what's going on and where to go, but are you really making the right choice? So step into this world of beauty and tragedy and try to unravel the mystery of the nature of the miracle. With tight controls, brutal combat, and pixel art that's out of this world, Blasphemous stands alone. With many challenges, especially in combat, but also in platforming and puzzle. This game has a ton to keep coming back to. Secret bosses, hidden areas, multiple endings obtained by doing obscure things, as well as a new game plus mode that fundamentally changes how you engage with combat, and is where all the DLC content is locked behind. Now on to the last faith. Most people that liked Blasphemous have most likely at least heard of this, but maybe not picked it up. If you like Blasphemous, I would definitely recommend it, especially if you like the more gothic Bloodborne aesthetic. This area really did give me flashbacks to Bloodborne.
Mate, how shoot this? Can you hear him? Oh, you're a dead man, all right.
They've even got dogs. It really does feel like a less polished Blasphemous in a lot of ways, but that doesn't necessarily make it bad. I really like it. I'm just gonna skim through some of the lesser games here, but if you really like Blasphemous, I highly recommend this one. Moving on now to Cogen Sword of Rewind, a fast-paced action platformer. In the style of something along the lines of Mega Man meets the Prince of Persia Sands of Time, if that makes sense. In this game, you don't actually have any health points, it's just get hit once, but you can rewind to undo your mistake. Gotta be careful though, some puzzles require you to drain all your juice, which can bring back enemies as well. One aspect of this game I really love are the boss fights. As you can see, I currently can't damage him, I just have to avoid him for now. Pretty simple, yet punishing when you realize you have to do the whole thing without getting hit, essentially. It's a really cool way to sort of learn mid-fight. The platforming and combat are tight, the story's interesting, and the environments are nice. I really like the returning to basic levels, setting high scores, and doing time trial challenges. Up next is my top-rated game for replayability, The Binding of Isaac. Although the original was great, Rebirth just opened up a whole wormhole of possibilities. I had originally put over 300 hours into the original release of Rebirth on Steam, but since I do most of my gaming on PS5 now, I decided to just buy Repentance and start from there. The Binding of Isaac is a perfect example of a game where knowledge is clearly power. In my eyes, it's the purest form of game, a game simply being a game for game's sake. There are hidden secrets around each and every corner, you've just gotta know how to get there. And sometimes even manipulate circumstances to make secrets appear where you want them. Playing as each and every character feels like its own unique trial. Each enemy and boss has their own distinct personality. Sometimes you encounter strange synergies which completely change the way you have to play the game. Such as after grabbing the Ludovico technique, as soon as I grab this, I have to control my tears as if it's a second player. Sometimes those item combinations can make a certain area or enemy incredibly difficult, but persist and you will be offered power. And now you've got a ring of floating blood laser. Thanks, Satan.
Joker.
Ooh, what have you got for me this time?
Not today, Satan. Not today.
Sometimes your build is already very powerful, but you find that one item that just pushes it up to 11. Boss. What boss? Aw, just a little crying baby. This can't be that hard. Gotta go full power. Oh, this isn't so bad. This isn't so bad. Okay, this is getting a little out of hand. Haha, idiot. You missed. Oh no. Oh no. No. What's going on? Oh no. Oh god. Oh no. Oh, and shield. Moonlighter is a game for those who really like the old school Zelda dungeon format. It's got 3 basic difficulty settings. On the recommended difficulty, it was pretty challenging. It tells you the story through a brief cutscene, explaining who you are, how you're a shop owner, and how you want to explore the dungeons. This game sort of combines Zelda-style dungeons with Outward-style adventuring, where you have a limited backpack and you have to do a lot of inventory management. But you're not just adventuring. In this game, you also run the town store. Now, the actual running of the store may deter you, but it's quite interactive actually. At first, very basic and simple, you just help out customers and receive the sales, but as you grow larger and expand your shop, you will have thieves and other obstacles to overcome. If people don't respond well to the prices, you can manually adjust them. The artist for these civilians definitely had some fun too. There's some reference characters in there like Cloud and Auron from Final Fantasy. The pixel art is really nice. The bosses are really unique, interactive, and challenging as well. But the dungeons do get a bit samey, although there are secrets and each area having its own unique types of enemies. For my playthrough, I primarily focused on the greatsword and the bow. I really liked the range option. Up is actually a trilogy of retro style games, the Diabolical Trilogy. If you're really itching for that old school feel, Super Nintendo, original Nintendo, then this is for you. Basic yet satisfying gameplay loops with obvious progression, each with many playable characters. The first being a zombie hunting stick shooter, where you have to use your environment to your advantage to accumulate gold. Catchy music, addictive gameplay, what else could you ask for? This one is a side-scrolling platformer where you strategically take out enemies, level up, and find loot. You've got 2 jumps, wall jumps, and bombs to get through the environment if you need. And the next game is sort of a combination of the two. A dungeon crawling stick shooter with really nice pixel art, where you accumulate resources to recruit new party members and upgrade them to get further in the dungeon. They've all got half decent stories, some cool art to go along with it, and most importantly, addicting gameplay loops. If you're just looking for some simple fun, or maybe you're a trophy hunter, these games are for you. Maybe you're in the mood for retro, but not that retro. Luckily, the indie scene steps in again to deliver bangers like Sea of Stars, which to me is sort of a love letter to that Golden Sun, Chrono Trigger-esque era of RPGs. It combines hype music with beautiful 3D environments to explore. A simple yet deep combat system, with a lot of timing-based elements sprinkled in. I really can't understate how great the music is in this game. This is just me wandering around the first area again. I'm just gonna let it play. Each area not only has catchy and iconic songs, but they also have a nighttime version, which when you use your sun and moon powers dynamically switches between. This game isn't really news to anyone. It won Indie Game of the Year last year, so people obviously know about it. I just wanted to include it in here because I had an unexpectedly great time with it, and I think it'll go down as a classic in this new modern retro style. Now onto Cris Tales. This time we have a much more light-hearted game, one about time travel and a princess. As you walk around, you can view the past, present, and future of the area you are in. Being able to do so not only helps you in battle, but also to do quests. But what I really love about this game is the voice acting. It has so much personality. Here are a few examples.
And that's what happened.
That is quite the story.
I can't believe it. The twins, Arvo and Irva, involved in some sort of dark magic.
So what if we were? I'm impressed you figured it out.
Why would you do something like this?
It must be so easy being you.
That is literally the least important thing you could have made. I'm not being hyperbolic. There are no less important things than that. None. I almost respect that.
I know! Isn't it amazing? This will be life-changing for everyone in the city.
The last time I came to this area, there was no cavern here.
These mines have been around for generations. How often do you pass by these places?
I do not measure my life by the same timescales that you do. It is rare for an event to occur that is interesting enough to merit my involvement.
What would be an example of something that's interesting enough?
For example, when a time mage comes to the lake with the head of a witness in her bag.
The exploration is pretty basic, but there are puzzles and a lot of hidden loot. We've got input timed attacks for double hit, elemental weaknesses, reverse time on an enemy, special moves that require inputs to be more powerful, but don't use it too much or you'll overheat, enemies that transform into you. Now onto some more serious games, not for the faint of heart. Next we have Soulstice. You control both the main character and the ghost at the same time, but also separately, and the goal is to keep your rhythm synced to improve your moveset and power. A simple hack and slash game at first, but as you try to get better and better scores, you realize you really have to use all of your tools if you want to do well. I like to imagine it as what you would get if you cross the old Devil May Cry's with a Berserk theme. You've got a Berserker mode, everything from freezing enemies' weapons in place, brutal finishes for the slow-mo cam, or sometimes you just getting wrecked. Incredibly epic over-the-top boss fights with crazy soundtracks that all keep upping the scale every time.
Insects! You are nothing! How dare you!
All that just to break open his shell. Now onto the last spell. If you like brutal, punishing turn-based games and heavy metal music, this one's for you. Fight waves of monsters until the morning, and then prepare using whatever resources you have left for the next night. Carefully manage your resources as you struggle with wave after wave of monsters each night. The amount of combinations for your units here is absolutely crazy. You could have a swordsman with a bow, you could have a mage with a bow, you could have a mage with a great sword. Each offers their own unique advantages in terms of position and available attacks and abilities. Goetia. An incredibly atmospheric point-and-click adventure game dealing with the occult and demonology. Play as a disembodied spirit trying to discover what happened with your old mansion, and figure out who in the family was messing with things they shouldn't have. The music here is genuinely eerie and on such a long loop that eventually it really gets stuck in your head. That's eerie, but do we have straight up creepy or weird? That's where our next game, Source of Madness, comes in. As you leave the wizard castle, you discover the Loam Land, and what horrors lie there. You play as a wizard with the ability to equip 2 rings at a time, each of which you fire with the triggers and aim with the right stick. Slowly, as you explore further and further, the monsters get bigger and bigger and creepier. I like to think of this game as sort of Wizards of Legend meets Dead Cells or something along those lines. You'll encounter some strange NPCs. Oh, finally some sane people. I love what the menus look like in this game, and the sounds they make are just phenomenal. Eventually, once you clear each area, you'll encounter the epic boss, which can be easy or hard depending on which set of rings and power-ups you've got. This is only the first boss, and it really is a war of attrition. If I don't destroy those boils quickly, it'll take forever. Even the victory music in this game is eerie. You won't find anything more horrific or brutal than in the dungeons of Fear and Hunger. Immediately as you start, you're given the choice to choose between 4 different classes of characters, each with their own distinct strengths, weaknesses, and backstory. So let's pick the Knight for simplicity's sake, and let's head to the backstory. Fear and Hunger is interesting in the way that it presents the stories. It becomes a multiple choice option, which will in turn affect what you start with, equipment-wise and skill-wise. There's a lot of deep lore to this game, considering it's made by a single person. And each of these stories do offer a lot of insight into the world and characters. Okay, let's get going. Let's head inside the entrance of the dungeon here and check out what's on this table. Book of Fears. Okay, what is that? Let's read this. Okay, it's describing different phobias here. And it looks like I've got zoophobia, fear of animals, apparently. Okay, maybe we'll see how that affects gameplay later. Damn, is it dark in here? Where do I even go? Okay, take it slow. Oh god, what is that? It doesn't seem to see me. Okay, let's go. Wait, stepped on a rusty nail? What the hell? Oh, I'm blocked by this candlestick. Gotta go around. Oh, a door, and it looks like it's locked. Wait, am I bleeding? Oh crap, I am, and something's wrong with my foot. Okay, let's keep going. Oh god, another one. Oh, bad move, and I'm cornered. Okay, let's fight this out. I should be able to kill the first enemy. Interesting, so I can target individual body parts. Let's attack the arm with the cleaver, as that seems the most dangerous right now. Okay, awesome. Now he doesn't have a weapon. Take out the legs next, I guess? Wait, a coin flip? What the hell? No. Oh god, will I survive that? Barely. Okay, got the legs. Now it's time for the head. Okay, barely made it out of that one. Let's check and see if he has anything on him. Meat cleaver and a loincloth. Let's check if the meat cleaver is stronger than our current weapon. Oh, I have torches I can use. And meat cleaver is not all that great. Oh well. Another book. Studies of Almer. Okay. Born of a virgin mother. 12 apostles. Man of godlike posture. And he was nailed to a cross. He transcended his cross becoming a symbol. He spent 3 days and 3 nights in the city of the gods. Okay, so that's this game's Christ figure. Oh, it looks like there's a girl inside the cage. Let's see if she's okay. No response, huh? Ooh, a chest. Is that an NPC or an enemy? Well, guess it's an enemy. I'm nearly dead. I may as well take a swing at the head. Oh, I got it. And it keeps fighting even without its head? No. Why didn't I expect that? Okay, that was pretty quick. Let's try this again. I'm in a different layout this time, it looks like. Oh no, a guard. Not this soon. Come on. Get rid of the cleaver, then take out the legs. Or we can try going for the head right away. Oh no, the coin flip again. Will we survive it? Okay, not too bad. Let's keep trying for the head. Wow, this really is not working. Okay, if we get hit by this one, we're not surviving it. Damn it. Wait, I'm not dead yet? Level 3 prisons. Oh my god, I'm alive? And I have no legs? What the hell? Okay, got out the door, and oh, come on. To be fair, they are called guards. Oh no, not the coin flip again. Oh, we got it this time. Let's go for the head. Oh, we actually got it. Okay, I can't go in this cell. Oh, what are these things? I hope I don't get attacked. I'm gonna try and run. Okay, it worked. And damn it. Oh my god, they call extras. Okay, got him. Let's get out of here. Can't go in here. Can't go in here. Okay, flight of stairs up. Let's get out of here. Oh god, what is this? Some sort of temple or something? Oh well, I'm probably gonna die anyway. Let's use this opportunity to check around what's in here. Oh, what's that? Let's try talking to it. I haven't tried that yet. And that went just about as well as expected.